Hello, I am Mudita, and welcome back to Satisfactory. This is episode 9 of the load balance playthrough, and today I'm going to tackle motors. I have almost all the alternate recipes available to me. I'm going to utilize the solid steel ingots and the steel rotor recipes. These are a great combo that saves on both raw resources and power. It also simplifies the production as the rotors and stators use the same inputs. As much as I would love to make 60 a minute to completely fill a Mark I belt like I am for so many of the other parts, that would just be much more than I would need and consume a whole lot more power than I want. 10 per minute will still be more than enough for the playthrough, and that's what I'm going to make. I'm going to use this spot right here. So to quickly go over what we're doing, we need 100 iron ore, 140 copper, and 100 coal. So we're going to take the 100 iron ore, use 4 smelters, combine that with the 100 coal in 3 foundries to get our 150 steel ingots. With those, we're going to use 5 constructors to turn them all into steel pipes. That's going to get split into the stators and steel rotors. But first we'll need to take that 140 copper ore, turn it into copper ingots with 5 smelters, and then use those in a total of 10 constructors for all of the wire that we need for the 4 assemblers for stators, 4 assemblers for rotors. We'll then combine the 20 stators and 20 rotors in 2 assemblers to make our 10 motors a minute and send those to storage. So let's quickly go through the blueprints we're going to be using. For the smelters, we'll use the 4 smelters for the iron, the 5 smelter blueprint for the copper ore. I'll then use the 3 foundry blueprint that I have. I'll then need 3 sets of the 5 constructor blueprints, 1 set for the steel pipes and 2 sets for the wire. And in total, I'll need 5 sets of these 2 assembler blueprints. Both the stators and the rotors will need 2 each, and then the final product, the motors, will only need 1 set. Now let me get these towers in place and we'll get all of the machines set. And now that the towers are done, let's get these machines placed. Okay, so now that we have all of our machines placed, and we get to do some of the fun stuff. So belting wise, a lot of it's going to be really straightforward. The most interesting part is going to be this. So I've pretty much already done that. I just need to bring this over, plug it in, combine it with the coal down here and the foundries. So thankfully, oh that's right, either the machines are going to be centered or this is lined up nice. So I'm going to keep the machines lined up nice. I just like that better. So the steel is going to come up here. Let's see, I think we've got 150 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 150, so it's a Mark III. So we'll just drop this down. It will, let's see, I think if we bring it to right here, it's about as short as we're gonna get it. Oh well, sometimes it just happens like that. I guess I could have done something like face it sideways and have it bend instead, but it's fine. So let's see, I think I know what we'll do. Okay, so merger here, merger here. We should actually set all of these recipes real quick. So solid steel ingot, these need to be set to 50 each. Copy and paste. The steel pipes are actually all at 100%, so we can leave these just the way they are. And then the first four are going to be our rotors, which we're using the steel rotors, so that we can just use steel pipes and wire for both of these parts. And then just the default stator recipe. And then up here, using the default motor recipe. So I don't need that flashlight. So since I could fit them here, I just don't like it being that close next to the wall, so we're actually just gonna move it out. It's right there. So one's gonna come up here, one's gonna come up here. So fit in like that, and then from here just bring it up, go there. This one can go up too, bring it down there and plug it in, and we have everything we need for the motors. Well, the final bit of belting is all done. Hooray! Now it gets a little bit more interesting in my opinion. Just connect these up. Just realizing I want to do it a little bit differently, I think. Okay, we're going to swap these two around. So the reason for that is the steel pipes are coming from below, down here. So that'll plug into one side. The other part is the wire. It's coming from that tower. So I'm going to bring them over probably on this side, so it'll just be easier to plug it in straight in that way, and I don't have to compete with whichever direction I'm sending these in. I think it'll be easiest that way. Speaking of, let's do a little bit of reworking here. is, I believe, yeah, this works out great. So now we have 40 and 60 instead of them all split up into 100, because the rotors will only need 40 since there's 4, 10 each, but the stators need 15 each, so this one needs the 60. So might as well just knock this out while I'm here. So the 40 is just gonna go right here, and then the 60 on this side just plugs up to here, and we have all the steel done. So now just got to work on the wire. So this is real easy. We'll just bring the $140. Let's make sure. Alright, that's set correctly. So we need, I believe it's 28, but let's just make sure. Yep, okay. Alright, so there's our 140. And then we just need to split that between the two levels. So that's real easy. We'll just have one come up here, one come up here. We'll have the left go first, so that will bring that one up to there. Alright, so we've got 140. So that means then 70 and 70. So we need Mark II for these. Make sure we get Mark II, which means that this needs to be Mark II for both of them, because it's actually going to have 70 plus 1/5 essentially, I believe is how it ends up working out. So that means Mark II is totally fine. So now we need to set these. So we've got our wire, and we need, let's see, 161. So this is 280 in total. Oh, and we're doing 10 machines, so nice and easy. Not 18, 28. So thankfully, no crazy math for that part. Now, if I wanted to make my life easiest, I would have actually placed 14 machines, because then they would have all been clocked to 20. Because now each floor is load balanced, but so out of each of these mergers right here is coming 140. Now the issue is one of these floors needs 120, the other needs 160. So I essentially need to take 20 off of one of these, and that'll leave me with 120, and give it to the other floor. That'll give me my 160. If I had clocked them all, placed more machines, it would have used a little bit less power. But there are multiple ways to do this. I am probably going to pick the most complicated way. So, buckle up. I guess I should, here, let me try to explain it. So since I need 20 out of that 140, that's 1/7. So normally the way that you would do a 7th would be you take your splitter, you're going to then split it 2 more times, because that would give you, so here's 1/2, here's 1/2, and then here's a quarter, here's a quarter. So I need to split it actually 2 more times. So we're gonna put one here, one here, one here, and one there. Okay, all bar. Okay, so a little bit closer. There we go. Okay, so you would have, here's a 7th, here's a 7th, here's a 7th, here's a 7th. Let's see, well, I guess I needed to line these actually up, didn't I? There we go. So here's a 7th, here's a 7th, and then here's a 7th. The issue is that obviously wouldn't actually split right, because what you need to do is split it 8 ways and have one of them loop back, just like the 5ths, right? So that's how you would split it 7 ways. But the thing is, I don't actually want to split it all of these ways, right? I really don't need that. So what I can do is just delete all of this, right? Because as long as it's getting split in half, so what I could do is just put a merger here. So now it's getting half. Or what would have been 4/7, right? This is 4/7 right here. So, well, this is actually not needed either, right? So I could delete this back up to here. Don't wait for this autosave. So we'll plug that into here, right? So now here's my 1/7 that I need to send off in another direction, and here's everything remaining. So I'm basically gonna try to do this just in a slightly more compact version, if you will. So we've got that. Okay, so I think I put, actually I think I have these, let's have these a little bit closer. Yeah, they need to be a little bit closer. Alright, so we've got that splitter, and then we'll need another splitter right here, and then another one there at the end. And then we'll need that merger right here. Okay, so that one needs to be marked 3 because that's 140. So out of here is the 140 actually plus, it's gonna have that return bit since we need to kind of recycle it, right? So the first half of that 4/7 is going right here. So that's gonna need mark 2, right? Which means the other split out of that splitter, because it needs to split twice. We're only doing 2 splits in each one. So that's gonna go there. And then I think we only need mark 1 from here. So this needs to get split twice, and we're gonna send that back into the merger. Hold on, the merger's not facing the right way. There we go. We want it to be that way. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to place this right there so that I can snap to here and get myself a nice short little lift. It's not overhanging, perfect. And that's gonna go right into there. So now we're left with that last bit. So now I have the one piece that I do want. Let's see, how are we gonna do this? I think down like that. So that's 20 right here. That's what we're left with. But that last other 20, I actually need to, just gonna do it like that. So that's that seventh is what the numbers will end up, but that like eighth that needs to get recycled, that's that bit right here. That's this piece. Is that. So that right there is probably the most complicated way to split off 20 parts per minute out of a 140 line. But super efficient. I don't have to worry about the smart splitter and any gaps in the line, which is a much simpler way to do it, but I like doing it this way. So now we've got this. So this bit right here, actually, I'm trying to think. Maybe, hold on. Since these are lined up the way this is gonna be, it's probably better like that. So that means we have our 120 right here, which isn't quite gonna go in straight. So let's, I'm just gonna be lazy because I'm gonna delete it anyways. So we'll just do it like this. There we go. So here's our 120. Here's the 20 that's split off. So that needs to trying to think, how are we gonna do? Can it line up here? I think so, right? Oh, I probably want this actually that way. There we go. So, yep. So there's 140. Here's 20. Oh, let me go get some iron plates. Okay, and we're back. So 140 plus the 20 we just split off. So right here is our 160 and this is our 120 line. So that's pretty much the belt work. I'm just going to bust that over, plug it into those, and that's basically all that's remaining, and run the bus around this thing and plug up the foundries. So let me do that and then we will flip the switch and see how long it takes. I'll be right back. Well, the night's over, but holy cow, it's still so foggy, so I think I'm just going to turn that off and hopefully a little bit easier to see. Okay, so just gonna be kind of weird background, sorry. Alright, so we got the iron ingots to head on around here, just barely snake on by, no clipping. And those come over here and up through the top, and those feed into the foundries with the coal. And then I went ahead and brought in, I wasn't sure which level, that's why I wanted to do that off camera, but we've got the 120 there, the 160 here, those come in, and then one of them just feeds down on this side, the other one goes up to this floor, and that's all of our wire. So that will make the rotors and stators, and then those will come up to this spot. We'll make our motors. Those will drop back down to this floor. And then what I did is, since we have the bus over here with the encased industrial beams, that's only partially being used, so I can easily add 10 motors onto here and it still won't be anywhere close to being full. So I just added a merger down here, so those will come in here, merge up with those, and then I already have the smart splitter and everything set for the overflow and to split the two parts. So now all that's left is for us to plug this on watch it come to life. And start the timer. There we go. One of the quicker factories to completely boot up to 100%, to be completely honest. Part of that has to do with the nodes all being pretty close together. But all in all, motors are a relatively easy setup compared to some of the later game ones. But that is mission complete. We got 10 motors a minute headed over to storage with the overflow setup. With motors complete, I now have pretty much everything I can build for this phase. I'm going to set up some temporary factories to get the space elevator parts built and advance to the next one, and I will see you when I start building some more factories. Thanks for watching.